Buddy, put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Well, live across the world on the internet at MichaelDukesShow.com and across the state of Alaska on this, your favorite radio station and or FM translator. It is The Michael Dukes Show. Hello. Hello, my friends. Hello. Are you... It is insane. You remember when we said late last week that it was the snowpocalypse and blah, 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 blah? Man, let's just put it this way. Got to turn my heater off here. Let me just put it this way. On the back of in my kitchen, I have a little tiny porch outside my kitchen door with a sliding glass door. The porch is, it's like a 2-step porch and everything else. The snow is 8 inches on the glass of the snow. There is so much snow. I went outside and snapped a picture of my front yard, and you can barely see the cars. They look like just white humps everywhere. They said 9 to 18 inches in the Matsu. Is that what they said? Something like that? Yeah, I think we got all that and then some. It is, wow, snowpocalypse. That's what we're saying. Snowmageddon, somebody else said. Snowmageddon. It's a white Christmas, man. It's a white Christmas. What more could you ask for? I don't know. But if you're planning on going to work today, you may want to reconsider. I'm just saying, if you can work from home, if you've got that remote work option, might I suggest that you take it, because there is no way you're getting to work on time today. I'm just saying that right now. I don't care how fast the snowplows are working. You're guaranteed you're going to hit some spot. I was posting on Facebook last night at like 8:00 that they were stuck in a parking lot. Could one of their friends come help them? Because they're literally stuck in the middle of a flat parking lot. It's just, no. Nope. Just an inch up in Fairbanks, says Kim in the chat room. Good for you. Good for you guys. Because, we got a bunch. Anchorage was supposed to get more than the Matsu. And apparently the peninsula was supposed to get even more than that, according to the National Weather Service and their snow alert for the whole state. Let's see, what's it say? Winter storm warning continues. They were supposed to get an additional 2 to 4 inches this morning. Where was I saved the graphic last night because I got the message from the National Weather Service, and it was just like, oof, here you go. Winter storm warning. This is what came out late yesterday. The Anchorage area is supposed to get 9 to 18 inches, 15 to 20 inches up in the hillside in Eagle River. The Matsu, 6 to 18 inches. The Western Kenai, 9 to 18 inches. And the Eastern Kenai, 10 to 24 inches. Oh, by the way, the Kenai is supposed to get winds gusting up to 35 to 40 miles an hour as well. So, great. Just great. Winter storm warning all the way through today. Now they're saying it's supposed to go on through this afternoon across the state. Supposed to go on this afternoon, and they say that the winter storm warning remains in effect until 9 or 10 a.m. this morning, and of course they'll update us more. But school is closed throughout the entire South Central area. I don't know what's happening down on the peninsula. Somebody in the chat room can tell me whether or not schools are closed on the peninsula. I didn't see anything about that. But Matsu, Anchorage, this is the 4th day of closures for school in just this last week. Just this last week. And it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. It looks like 18 inches in Anchor Point, 12 inches in Seldovia. This is what people are reporting in the chat room. Somebody heard Healy was closed. This is all the schools down on the peninsula are closed as well. Well, Cooper Landing, Hope School, Nanwalek, Port Graham, and Susan B. English are the only schools that are open. The rest of the schools in the Kenai are all closed. So, again, I guess another reason to stay home with the kidlets while you work from home today. Wow. Just what a day. I looked outside. My wife had let the dog out in the middle of the night, and there's literally a little dog-sized tunnel that goes off the porch down into the snow, about a foot off the porch, circles, and comes back up. That's how good it is. All right. Well, hi. Good morning. It's Monday, and I have got short timers like you cannot believe. I have nothing planned for today. We have no guests. I was thinking about this last night because I tried to get a couple guests over the weekend to try and get somebody on for Monday. It's always nice to start out. It's always nice to kind of start out, with a guest and get the week started right. But I think everybody's got short timers. I think everybody that I talk to is like, well, I can't really be bothered to come on board, and I'm, I'm busy, and I'm going to be. And I think we're all just right to that point now. It's the end of the year. You're about done with 2022. You just want to get in and get out. And that's kind of, I think, where we're at. Now, tomorrow on the program, we're going to be talking with Brad Keithley and Chris Story, and they're going to be coming on board and doing the deep dive with the weekly top 3 and our life coaching lesson. But that's tomorrow. That's not today. Wednesday will be Mike Shower. He's going to be coming back on. And then, I've got nothing for the remainder of the week, but we'll figure something out. 30, we'll figure something out as well. Mike King out in Salcha saying it's over 30 inches of snow in Salcha, lots of water and overflow on the small pumps and the swamps. That whole area is a flood area. That's not something that I would be looking forward to. I will remind you. Oh, baby, let me remind you that this hour of the program is being brought to you by our friends over there at Satellite West. SatelliteWest.com is their website. If you want to stay connected around the state of Alaska, no matter where you are, no matter where you go, these are the folks that you want to talk to. And they have got connectivity for you, be it for internet or text messaging or phone calls or email or whatever. They've got it all for you. Again, just go to SatelliteWest.com. Thank you for sponsoring the program, and thank you for sponsoring the 5 days of Christmas promotion. The 5 days, the 5 days of Christmas promotion, which is starting this Thursday. I was going to say next Thursday, but this week is already here. This Thursday, we are going to be giving away a bivvy stick every day for 5 days. Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to be giving away a bivvy stick. And it's your chance to It's your chance to get one for free. For free. All you have to do is go over to my website at michaeldukeshow.com and click on the big Bivy right page. See it. It is the 5 days of Christmas promotion. You sign up, and I'll be drawing some names on Wednesday night or early Thursday morning before the show, and we'll have our first winner, and it'll be fantastic. Speaking of which, I've got the bivy stick. I've got my own bivy stick right here, and I think we're going to be able to use it for a text messaging system here on the program. So if you, my friends, want to be able to text the show and do that, I'm going to get all that squared away today, and then tomorrow we'll have a brand new way for you to reach out to the show, and that is through text messaging. So it should be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. So I've got my bivy stick. It's right here. It's the bivy stick, and we'll be using that hopefully for text messaging to the show here shortly. So we'll look forward to that. Okay, what do we want to talk about here? There's some stories. There are a few stories around. I suppose we could get into some politics. Not that I really want to get into politics, but I mean, I know that's like sacrilegious when it comes to the talk. Well, you've got to talk about politics. Well, I don't really want to, though. I'm tired. I want to talk about happy things and fun stuff and puppies and butterflies. Can we talk about that? And this next week is going to be amazing, by the way, because next week we're going to talk. There's going to be a moratorium on politics next week. I mean, unless the whole world blows up and something has to be discussed. But for the most part, there's going to be a moratorium on politics for next week. And we're going to be doing nothing but Christmas stuff from the start to the finish. The start to finish. I might even play one of my favorite old-time radio things on Monday. I haven't decided yet, but I might do like my favorite with some commentary, right? We might listen together to an old-time radio broadcast or something. We're just going to do something that's fun. And we're going to share recipes, and we're going to share Christmas memories with our regular guests, Brad Keithley, Chris Story, Mike Shower. They're all going to come in, and they're going to share Christmas memories, and it's going to be fun. So anyway, there's a Satellite West banner at the top of the page if you want to go get signed up for that. Somebody just said banner right there. You can just go look for it. The 5 days of Christmas. Get signed up. I got about, I think there's about 40 or 50 people signed up already. And so you've got 3 days to sign up until I start pulling names out of the hat, and we'll see what goes on from there. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're up against the break, so we'll pay some bills, and then we'll come back and hit some of the headlines, and I'm going to open up the phones. 907-433-3150, 907-433-3150. Tell me what the view is from your house. How does it look? I mean, are you outside listening to me on a portable transistor radio or on your phone because you're outside shoveling? That's why I have kids. Anyway, let me know. The Michael Luke Show. Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. Back with more right after this.
If you missed the show, you can listen to it on your time with Dukes On Demand. Oh, and it's free. Like America used to be. Streaming live every weekday morning on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
Hello, my pretties and your little dogs too. How you guys doing? How you doing? How are you? Oh man, it is such a hot mess out there right now. I mean, like, wow, baby. Just wow. Oh man. So, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing in this beautiful snowy day? Richard wants me to send my kids over to him to get the snow out of there. Vonnie says it's still snowing. It's still snowing here. That's the worst part. It's still snowing here. It's going crazy. It's the ice rink driving. Oh, wow. Oh, light snow on Wednesday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Is that what they're saying right now? Is that what they're saying? NOAA weather was. Let me just see what the NOAA. Let me see what the official government forecast is. The official government forecast for NOAA weather. Today, snow mostly before noon. Oh, then the temperatures are going to go up to 29 degrees. Oh my God. With a chance of something more. Well, somebody just sent me a text about something. Live stream. What? Live stream not on. Live stream is connected. I could see it. It's ticking away. I'll start it again. Hold the line. I'll try it again. I'll just tell him was running. Just restarted. Restarted. Okay. Tonight, 30% chance of snow, increasing clouds. Tomorrow, snow, highs near 19. Chance of precipitation, 80%, an additional 2 to 4 inches. And Wednesday, chance of snow. Wednesday night, 50% chance of snow. Thursday, snow likely. Thursday night, snow likely. Friday, a chance of snow. Highs near 30. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. I'm in a mood today, in case you couldn't tell. I am in a mood. My mom's in the chat room today. I was down with kidney stones yesterday, so all my shoveling. Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry. That's like a twofer. That nobody needs that. Bad enough at Fairbanks, I just plow my driveway and it's a half a foot now. Yeah, I know. It's vicious. It's vicious out there. I think you'd rather have the really cold than all this snow. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a point where you're like, I'd take it to be, 0 degrees or even 5 below without all the snow. Heat stroke while shoveling. Power's out in North Pole, more snow. Snow machiners are loving it, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure Bill is he's over there just cackling madly and twirling his mustache. He's ready to go. Bill is ready to go. I think we should all blame Bill for all this snow. I'm sure he's been doing the dance for weeks on getting more snow to the Kenai, and now he got it. All right, did everybody go over and sign up for a bivvy stick? I mean, you don't have to have it. If you don't want to do it. I mean, there will be, you have to subscribe later on, but you get the bivvy stick for free. But go check it out. Just go to MichaelDukesShow.com. MichaelDukesShow.com. Okay, well, I guess we got to go back to work. I guess we got to go back on the air. All right, we'll do it. We're ready to go. Please like and share, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, like Mikael is. I appreciate it. Let's get to it. Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. The Michael Duke Show. Here we go. All right, continuing on here on the show this morning. Just been chatting with the folks in the chat room. 36, Rick, who lives down the road from me here not too long ago, not too far down the road, just said we have about 36 inches of snow over 2 storms with 2 days apart. That's probably about right, because I got over 2 feet, almost 2 feet in the last snowstorm, and I guarantee, literally, I can barely see the edge of the color on my wife's car. She's got a full-size sedan, and the snow is all the way up the door. It's anyway, snow. Here we are just talking about the weather, like it's the biggest thing in the world. Well, I suppose we should go jump into the the headlines, huh? Now, I will let you know that the phone lines are open, and today is just free form. Whatever we want to talk about, I don't care. It doesn't have to be politics. Could be whatever else you want. Could be whatever else you want to talk about. I'm all about anything at this point. We're going to be spending the rest of the week. I'm sure we'll be talking about the legislative session, and we'll be talking about, what's going on what's going to be happening down in Juneau. The governor's budget is due out in 3 days. So I'm sure that we'll be in the middle of that, and talking about that here, probably on Thursday. Is that right? Thursday? Is Thursday the day? Well, we won't even know till Friday, will we? We won't even know. I just realized. I'm looking at the timing. So the budget comes out on Thursday, and then Friday is Firearms Friday, and it's the last Firearms Friday of the year. So I'm trying to do it up big with some big guests. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week is the moratorium on politics. Maybe we'll have to talk about the governor's budget in passing on Monday or something. I kind of want, I don't know. Maybe we should take a poll. Maybe we should do a vote. You guys can send me emails and tell me, do you want next week? Because I'm only on for 3 days next week. Those are the last 3 broadcast days of the year for me. All right. Starting on Thursday, the 22nd, I'm Gandhi, right? I'm off the 22nd through the 1st, and I will be returning to the airwaves on January 2nd. So maybe, just maybe, I guess, should I, like I said, I'm planning on having that week be nothing but, just kind of fun, just non-political stuff. What do you say? So you can tell me in the chat room, or you can send me an email, me@michaeldukeshow.com, me@michaeldukeshow.com. If you want to tell me whether you want it to be yes to politics or no to politics on the last week. Yes to politics, no to politics. Thumbs up, thumbs down. So you could tell me that, and maybe I'll decide. Maybe we need it. Not that it's going to matter, because when we come back on the 2nd, we're still going to have 2.5 weeks to talk about it before they even go into session. So there you go. There you go. But again, I'll let you guys decide yes or no. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes to politics or no to politics next week on my final 3 days of the year. My personal preference is no, but I will accede to your wishes because that's the kind of guy I am. Okay. Well, what I say, all the schools are closed. We talked about that. We talked about the snow. And it's gotten into a real pissing war down in Anchorage now because it's brutal. It's brutal in Anchorage. Even the day after the original snow, it was bad. The feeder roads, in fact, the drive was pretty good all the way in until you got into Anchorage. And then only the main drags were plowed and all the side roads were, or you're getting stuck and everything else. And so now they got a big pissing match between the assembly and the administration because the assembly's mad that the administration didn't tell them that they were short on drivers and maintenance and problems. And so now they're going to be blamed. This is, I understand standing up for one side or the other, but at some point you guys got to come together and kumbaya. I know that the co-equal branches of government are supposed to balance each other out, but they're not supposed to be at war like every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. But there's an article now in the ADN talking about poor planning and preparation in City Hall is the reason for the snow plowing delay, says the assembly. That's essentially it. It's all the mayor's fault. Not to mention the fact that we've had a record-breaking snow year and, you've got the post-COVID supply chain problems and everything else. They were just surprised, apparently, to learn about it in late November during the budget process, which I thought is when you're supposed to find out about everything is during the budget process. But, and of course, this is how the ADN writes it. It is just adding fuel to the fire. It's insane. But that article's out there if you want to go take a look at that. That's another one. Let's go over to the phones and see what you guys want to talk about this morning at 907-433-3150. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Ron in Sterling.
Hello, Ron. What's happening down in Sterling?
I got about 12 inches of snow.
That's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. And more to come, I'm sure, but
yeah.
We'll just kind of play it out.
They're saying another 4 inches today, so, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to talk about the midterm elections. I tried to call you last week or just the end of the week before that, and there was run out of time.
Okay. So you want to talk about the midterms, the red wave that turned into the pink tinkle.
Yeah. And I'm looking at a search engine that my brother sent me and they've got the results for all of the states, and they're showing each of the categories, which would be the senators, the House, and the governors. And I'm looking at one right here that says for Alaska that Lisa Murkowski got 113,800 votes.
Okay.
And they're saying that she's got the nomination, and it states on the flyers that we were given for ranked choice voting that you had to have 50% plus one. And according to the votes that she got, she's only got 43.37%.
You're counting this.
How can somebody else?
You're counting this against the registered voters that voted, right? That's what you're doing about the number of votes cast overall, the number of ballots cast, I mean?
Yes. They say the votes estimated at 99%. Votes counted were 262,411.
Yeah. So here's what happens with that, Ron. They call another name for ranked choice voting is instant runoff voting. That's what they call it. And what you're seeing there is the reduction of number of votes, as far as she got so many votes counted, because as they drop off as they drop off ballots that were single vote ballots or double vote ballots, it reduces the overall number of ballots that were cast because some people only fill out one. They only fill out one and done. And so it's always the 50% of the remaining active ballots, not the exhausted, they call them exhausted ballots. It's a 50% of the remaining ballots left in that round. So, for example, you got 100% of the ballots with 4 candidates. The first candidate drops out. There were some bullet voters and, everything else. And so where they only voted for one. And so now you've only got 92% of the ballots remaining for the third round. And then the third person gets eliminated. And now you have only 87% of all the ballots that were originally cast, or maybe even more, because the exhausted ballot rate in this state has been pretty high for the last few elections. And I haven't seen what it was for this one, but in the previous elections, in the primaries, as many as up to almost 20% of the ballots were exhausted, depending on which race you were talking about. So you could have only 80 or 85% of the original ballot count. So if you had 100 ballots, only 85 of them made it to the second or third round. And so that's how the math is working on that.
So you're saying that these percentages are wrong?
I'm saying that I don't know if the percentages are wrong.
Correct?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that the percentages are correct. She may have only gotten 43% of the original votes cast, like 100% of the ballots that were originally counted. But because it went through because it went through 3 rounds, Buzz Kelly gets eliminated, Pat Chesbro gets eliminated, then it's just her and Kelly Shabaka. Then at that point, there's only X number of, I don't know what the total number was, but it's 50% of the remaining ballots. So yes, conceivably, it could be that she wins with 43% of the original ballots cast, but after all the eliminations and the exhausted ballots, then it should factor up to 51% of the remainder ballots after the exhaustion and everything else.
Okay. Well, on the same token, I'm looking at this again, and it's closer, but they still don't show it as the percentages they're saying. But Mary Peltola won it by 48.67%.
Of the original ballots cast, right?
Well, I mean, if it's 128,553 votes, and this is probably the reason why ranked choice voting isn't quite liked.
Well, it definitely is confusing, and I think it's problematic because, I know that they're saying, oh, this is much easier. It's instant runoff. No, I would rather, if there's a runoff, I would rather go back and vote a second time because one, you'll get a lot of people who may change their mind between, one time or another. And on the other, I just want to know that my ballot was not exhausted and not wasted. See, that's the problem.
Yeah. Yep.
So
anyway, I just thought that was an interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's really, it's an unknown. It's an unknown thing. It's something that people just didn't, know or didn't think about. Like you said, when you look at the raw numbers, and that just shows again the amount of exhausted ballots. It's kind of a disenfranchisement, in my opinion. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But that's where we're at right now.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right.
And then Chris Story had a guy on last week that was promoting Alaskans for Honest Elections.
Yes.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, he sent me a text message and said that he had the folks on from Alaskans for Honest Elections, which is the group that is attempting to remove ranked choice voting through a citizens initiative. And so we're going to try and get them on the program this week if we can, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Good.
All right.
I appreciate all your work, Mike.
All right, Ron. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Thanks for being part of it. That leaves all the phone lines open. If you would like to call in, well, now's the time to do it. 907. I don't want to. I did something. 907-433-3150. 907-433-3150. We'd love to hear from you this morning. And I got to tell you, from the chat room, nobody wants to talk about politics last week. No politics. No politics. Got political fatigue. No politics next week. No politics. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. A hot mess. No. But you know what? We'll let that poll run for a little bit here. If you want to, if you would like to have us talk about the governor's budget and politics next week, and you just can't wait, well, send me an email. Again, me at michaeldukeshow.com, me at michaeldukeshow.com. And don't forget, you can also go to michaeldukeshow.com to sign up to win that bivvy stick for the 5 days of Christmas. We're giving away 5 bivvy sticks every day starting Thursday. So it'll be Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And so it's going to be a fun time. Don't miss it. All right, we got a couple lines on hold, and we're going to get to them here as soon as we return. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk to you during the break, callers, so hang out there in the phone room. We'll be right back. The Michael Duke Show continues. It is your home for Common Sense Radio.
What is that?
Common Sense.
Regularly heard on American radio.
Michael Duke Show.
Radio.
Okay, we are back. No politics. People are still going on about the no politics. I love it. All right. I mean, I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me that was exhaustipated. That's a new word. Exhaustipated. It's like exhausted and constipated. I'm exhaustipated. Let's go over to the phones and get some names here. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from? I suppose I should actually turn you up so I can hear you. Good morning. I'm sorry. Who are you again, and where are you calling from?
I'm Randy in Fairbanks.
Okay, Randy, you hold the line. You'll be first in the queue when we return here, Randy. Let's go to caller number 2. Good morning, caller. Who are you, and where are you calling from?
This is Eric in Fairbanks.
All right, Eric at Fairbanks, you hold the line, sir. You will be number 2 in the queue, right behind Randy. So we got Eric and Randy, or Randy and Eric in order of appearance here on the big radio show. All right, no politics. No politics. Exhaustipated. I should get a T-shirt. Exhaustipated. I did get those new T-shirts in, by the way. I told folks here recently that I was ordering some, and boy, are they sweet T-shirts. And boy, would they make a great Christmas gift for the Michael Duke Show listener in your life. I got to tell you, where is it here? I'm just looking for the post so that you guys can see it. Split screen. No, wrong one. Too many windows. Here we go. Right there. That's the one I want. Where is it? I posted it in here. And I just go to pictures. Let's just go to pictures, shall we? Media. That's what I wanted. Media. Oh, that's still not okay. All right. You know, sometimes why can't things just be easier? Why do you have to make it hard? I was just trying to show people. Oh, my Lord. All right, let me go back over here. I was just trying to show people the good stuff, Facebook. Why don't you help me? Why don't you help me with this? Boy, I got to tell you, the folks on the Common Sense Corps are prolific. They are prolific. Okay, here we go. So I just got these 2 T-shirts. Well, yes, please capture this window so that I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. The folks, no. Guys, is it Monday? I'm asking for a friend. All right, here's the so anyway, I got this shirt, and this is a great shirt. This shirt is awesome. Can you read it from there? Do I need to make it bigger? I'll make it bigger. There you go. This shirt is awesome. The worst part of censorship is everything is fine. Trust your government. And it's got the Michael Duke Show logo on the back of it. And then the second one is the Just Say No to Government Dough t-shirt. I got one of each because I had to test them, right? I got to test the quality of them. And they are nice shirts. We'll be putting those up on the website. I'm doing a complete and total website revamp over the holiday season. And it's gonna be amazing. So, but those two t-shirts are now available, and we're gonna be doing those up here pretty quick. All right. Exhaustipated must used the correct spelling. Exhaustipated. Let's see. The Real Randy TM. We're gonna get Randy a t-shirt that says The Real Randy. Restore the vocabulary. I'm calling it Snowmageddon. I'm calling it the snowpocalypse. I think that has a nicer ring to it. In a world of a snowpocalypse, right? I mean, seriously, that's what you want right there. The snowpocalypse instead of all those Snowmageddon. I don't know. Snowpocalypse just sounds snowpocalypse. In a world where people are buried under thousands of pounds of the white stuff. I mean, Snowpocalypse 2022. That's what you want. That's what you want. Snowmageddon. It just depends on how you read the script. It's Snowmageddon. Oh, man, all this stuff out here. It's Snowmageddon. With our recent athlete for arms dealer trade, guns and ammo should be readily available for Christmas. I mean, you could never go wrong with the gift of guns and ammo for Christmas. I'm just saying. Pray my kitty can find his way home. Christine, did you lose your kitty? That's not good, man. That's not good. We had that happen around here earlier in the year. Trust me, I know how not good that is. All right, let's get back into it, shall we? Randy and Eric on the phone. Let's get it going on. The Michael Duke Show, common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. I mean, meanwhile, out on the East Coast in upstate New York and places, they've got like 6 feet of snow. So I guess we're whining a little bit, but, it's our God-given right as an American to whine. Don't forget about it. All right, let's go over to the phones. We got 2 lines on hold. Randy and Eric. We're going to start off with Randy. Both of them are in Fairbanks. So let's see what they have to say, shall we? We'll start off over here. Good morning, Randy. What's on your mind?
Well, I just saw a good headline in yesterday's Sunday paper. It says in the Fairbanks Daily News Miner, says Congress agrees to scrap coronavirus vaccine mandate for military, advances largest troop pay increase in 20 years. So I was happy about that. It also says in this article that Lloyd Austin says Austin and President Joe Biden opposed repealing the requirement, calling it a health and readiness issue for the force. It says still lawmakers move to end mandatory shots after fervent lobbying by Republicans who blamed the requirement for exacerbating the military's recruiting and retention woes. However, at first when I read that, I thought, oh, they passed that, that's a done deal, but not quite. It also says here, the House is set to take up the bill. In other words, that was just by a bipartisan committee that came up with that. But
right.
The House is set to take up the bill this week, followed by a vote in the Senate. So I hope Mary Patella in the House votes for that, and doesn't try to do any. shenanigans or anything. And I hope, by the way, that President Biden won't veto it or something like that.
Right. No, I mean, I think that this has been a big problem in the military. I mean, I've spoken to several people that I know that are in the military that are, had struggled with this. And I know one guy specifically who got out of the military because he wouldn't take the shot. And so, I mean, I think you're right. Readiness and retention. You want to retain all that you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars training each and every one of these soldiers. I think you'd want to retain them on something like this when, just look at the facts. Look at what's gone on. How many people that have gotten the vaccine and have had COVID, multiple times. And some of us have only had it once and gotten and not gotten the shot. So I don't know. It's a frustrating thing for sure. The mandate I thought was wrong. If somebody wants to take a vaccine, let them take a vaccine. Now I understand the military is a little different, but, I think it was problematic to say the least. Let's say this. So this will clarify some of that stuff.
Yeah, I've never taken the vaccine, and to my knowledge, I've never had COVID. But anyway, one last thing that I found interesting in this same article from the News Miner, December 11th, yesterday, Sunday. It says a provision requiring women to register for the draft, which was featured in the Senate Armed Services Committee version of the bill, was nixed. Lawmakers in both chambers had included the measure in a draft of the 2022 annual defense authorization bill before scrapping it. And so I was happy about that. It says, I fought to ensure for a second year that the women in the draft provision was left out of the final agreement, said Senator Jim Inhofe of Oklahoma, the top Republican on the committee. We should not force our daughters and granddaughters to register for the Selective Service. So I'm happy that they got rid of that.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Although, women's lib and everything, if everybody wants to be equal, maybe they should equally be part of it. I definitely don't want my daughters dragged into that, but it's an interesting argument when it all comes down to it. Thank you, Randy, for your call. I appreciate it. Let's go over to Eric, who's been on hold. He's in Fairbanks as well. Good morning, sir. What's on your mind?
Well, happy holidays, Michael, from 23 Mile Chena Hot Springs Road.
Well, thank you. Did you guys get a bunch of snow out there? Are you all good?
Manageable.
Manageable. Okay. Well, what's on your mind today, Eric?
I have one kind of a fun thing and then a question for you. Jack Ryan season 3 is getting dropped next week by Amazon.
Oh yeah. I'm
And then I wanted to know, did you get into your Starlink yet? Have you tried that out?
No, I have not, because for two reasons. One, I'm only about 85% done with my studio rebuild. I've got most everything in, but I had to get some extra parts that I was not anticipating having to get, and so they're supposed to be arriving this week. So probably this weekend, I'll probably be getting into it and finishing that up. That was the first reason. I didn't want to integrate something new while I was still working out the kinks on the studio itself. Secondly, my understanding, and I've been talking to some of my friends who got the Starlink, is that the internet signal is strong and it's got fast internet, but it's not rock solid yet. Not that GCI is rock solid, but that there's still been interruptions, 10, 20, 30-second interruptions where it just goes down for a period of time. And because we're doing the radio show, and for those of you who don't know, lots of radio these days works across the internet. The signals that I send from my studio here to studios across the state are all sent via the internet. And so if I hook up the Starlink and I get that, then we'd have 20 seconds or 40 seconds of dead air on the radio stations, and that makes people grumpy. So I'm waiting to see if I'm still paying for it. I'm still paying the $100 a month, but I have not set it up yet until I'm going to probably wait until maybe the Christmas break, and I'll set it up and start testing it and see what it looks like. But I imagine that sometime after the first of the year, I will probably be transferring over to Starlink for my whole signal because it's supposed to be a lot steadier, and the upload speeds are the big thing. Is the upload speeds, because I'm using GCI. I've got the highest thing that they offer, which is 2 gigs down, but it's only 200 megs a second up, which when you're transmitting audio and video, that can get sucked up pretty quick. Or the Starlink is 1 gig down, so it's technically slower on the download, although even with 2 gig red, I'm only getting speeds of about 800 megs a second. But the upload is supposed to be half a gig up, so it's supposed to be twice as fast on the upload. So I'm gonna have to test it. We're gonna have to see it, but I imagine that I probably won't mess around with that until probably after or during the holiday break. I'll probably futz around with it and see if I can get everything hooked up and plugged into the system, and we'll see where we go from there.
Yeah, I've got another satellite provider right now, and I've been a little bit disappointed in their performance at best. So
yeah,
we have ACS out here, but I just don't want to deal with ACS. They're not that great.
Yeah, well, I had ACS for a year.
I'm going to look seriously at trying out Starlink. I was just checking to see how you did with it so far.
The people that I've been talking to, and there's folks in the chat room I know who have gotten it already, and a couple of my other friends, and they said that the service is very fast when it's up. The problem, of course, is that they don't have full coverage yet of satellites across Alaska, and so you get gaps, and it takes a few seconds for the next satellite to pick it up. But they're in the process of not only are they, here's the cool thing, not only are they launching more satellites, they're also now using, I think the email said freaking space lasers. They're now using laser communications between the satellites. So they're trying to bridge the gap by transmitting it from one satellite to another with low energy lasers between the satellites. So they're always looking for new ways to bridge the gap, so to speak. But I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be the way to go. That's why quite honestly, that's why I applied 2 years ago to be one of the beta testers, because I thought that this was the technology of where things were supposed to go. I put money into this a couple of years ago. So it's finally paying off. Let's just put it that way. But I'll have a full report once I have the system up and running. And I may run them in parallel for a little bit. I may run both GCI and Starlink in parallel for a bit just to see, how they do. So.
Well, Michael, you have a great day. And remember, it's less than 2 years to the next election cycle.
That's right. That's right. All right, my friend. Well, Merry Christmas to you. And thanks for calling in and joining us. I appreciate it. All right, folks. Well, that takes us up. I'm sure I'll get some updates from some of the folks in the chat room with Starlink, who will tell us what's going on. And I'm sure we'll talk about that here in the next segment. It's open line, open forum. Anything you want to talk about today, I'm all about that. So let's get going on. The Michael Duke Show, common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. If you got to go, be kind, love one another, live well. If you're planning on driving to work today and you're in the South Central or the Peninsula, you better leave now. We'll see you. Hour 2 dead ahead. Gary says, I had Starlink, but it kept dropping out for several minutes at a time, so I ended up sending it back. I will try again once the rest of the satellites are deployed. 3,000 of the planned 12,000 are currently deployed. This was in Fairbanks. Yeah, that's what I hear. I heard that they're still in the process of trying to make the net of satellites in low Earth orbit denser and be able to have them communicate with each other. I think that's good. Elon wants to put his microchip in your brain. Nah, okay. I don't think so, but I don't think so. Don't expect Peltola to do anything without the Merc riding shotgun, so to speak. Yeah. Brian says the woke stuff in the military isn't helping with retention. I know that. Hey, my dad's on too. My mom and everybody say hi to my mom and my dad, who are both in the chat room this morning. Dad's usually in the chat room, but mom is busy puttering around doing things. But this morning, my mom is in the chat room. So everybody say hi to mom and dad. Will you? Say hi to mom and dad for me. I'm a bad son. I never call them enough. So I feel like I must talk to them enough in the morning that it's the excuse I use anyway. I talk to them in the morning. I don't need to call right now. No, the worst part is I always remember to call it like 4:00 in the morning or 11:00 at night. All right. Johnny Mnemonic brain chip movie. Oh, I know. Johnny Mnemonic. Boy, that's a movie. That's a blast from the past. That was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I like Keanu Reeves. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves. I like Keanu Reeves before he was John Wick or even Neo. I like Keanu Reeves. Everybody's saying hi to mom and dad. Excited for Jack Reacher. Yeah, when is Reacher dropping? Jack Reacher season 2. What's it say? Release date. Boom. Release date February the 7th. February the 7th of 2023. But Jack Ryan as no, let's see. December 21st. Yep. So next week we are 9 days away. 9 days away from Jack Ryan. Oh, that's my last day of work. I might just binge Jack Reacher that night. I might watch the whole season. Oof. Jack Ryan is so good. That's such a good we should watch I haven't seen the trailer yet. They just released the Jack Ryan season 3 trailer. I don't think you guys can hear the audio from my desktop, which is bugging me. I don't know why. But I don't think you guys can hear the audio from my desktop. Otherwise, I would watch the Jack Reacher or Jack Ryan trailer with you right now. But we had a problem with that last week. You guys couldn't hear the sound from my desktop. Have you watched Tulsa King? I'm pretty into it. It is hilarious. Sylvester Stallone was great casting. I have not watched Tulsa King, but I did find out that Taylor Sheridan, who is the guy who wrote Sons of Anarchy, and he's the brain guy behind Yellowstone, that he is also the writer or producer of Tulsa King. So at this point, I'm like, anything that Taylor Sheridan does, I'm down with it. I am down for it. So that will be interesting. But I did see the trailer for it, and I thought, oh, I got to put that on my watch list. I did finish season 3 of The Boys this weekend. Woof. That is not safe for work. Let me just be really clear before anybody runs out there based on my recommendation. Let me just tell you right now, The Boys is not safe for work. Okay? It's not safe for work. You should not. If you've got a faint heart or you are offended by language or nudity, you should not watch The Boys, okay? But wow, it was pretty intense. Let's just put it that way. Have you seen the Yellowstone prequel 1883? That was amazing. The Yellowstone prequel 1883 and the new one with Harrison Ford and I could see her face. Helen Mirren? Is it Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren? The new one, which is going to be, I think, 1934 is what it's called, is supposed to be kicking off here shortly. And so I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. We restarted last night. My wife and I restarted 1923. Thank you, Bill. We restarted Yellowstone last night because we want to watch the new season. And Terry's like, well, should we rewatch the first 3 seasons? I said, because there's 4 seasons, let's just watch the last season again. But I will tell you, I had forgotten what a bang that season 3 starts off with, or season 4, the last season. Wow. My goodness. What an epic. I'm really looking forward to it. Yellowstone. Like I said, it's like Game of Thrones, but with cowboys. That's Yellowstone for you. Game of Thrones with cowboys. All right, here we go. Hour 2 dead ahead, the Michael Duke Show. Common Sense Radio.
Whoa, buddy. Put that thing back in its holster. We haven't gone anywhere.
I don't understand.
Check out the MichaelDukesShow.com for information on how to get access to the podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal.
The Michael Dukes Show.
The greed and the entitlement is astounding to me.
What more could you want from a low-budget radio program?
This is a dumpster fire.
That was just BS.
It is time to get a new perspective.
We know just what you need, and we've got just the cure. Open wide and prepare for a steaming hot cup of freedom.
I just don't fathom it.
The Michael Dukes Show, streaming live across the world.
Across the world on the internet at michaeldukeshow.com and across the state of Alaska on this, your favorite radio station and or FM translator. It is your home for common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to Hour 2 of the big radio broadcast. It is Monday, snowpocalypse. Snowmageddon. I mean, you know, you fill out the whatever word you want to use for it, but it is a snowy, brusque Monday. If you live in the South Central area or in the peninsula and you can work from home today, that's my recommendation. That's my I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm not driving in. I looked outside and I looked at the tunnel that the dog did through the snow, because you could see it collapse as the dog ran out and then see it come back as the dog came back. No, nope. It's gonna be a snowy one. And of course, later today, it's supposed to warm up to 30 by noon. That's what the NOAA weather is saying. Temps rising near 29 degrees by noon. And then falling to around 14 degrees, with more snow. Another 2 to 4 inches of snow this morning and into this afternoon. With tomorrow another 2 to 4 inches of accumulation with an 80% chance of snow. So that's in the Matsu. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean, oh man. All right. Let's see. So today, if you're just joining us on the program, today is just free form. Today is whatever we want to talk about. Because I couldn't get any guests lined up. And you know, here's the thing. I think a lot of the political folks and the talking heads, they're trying to squeeze in as much vacation time before they have to go in for the session than, getting as much time in as they can right now. That's what I'm anticipating right now, is that we're not going to be able to do that. We may or may not have more politicians on. Now, next week, we're going to is the final 3 days of the broadcast year for me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday of next week will be my last broadcast for the year. And I'll be off until the 2nd of January, which would be my first day of broadcast for 2023. 2023. How did we get to 2023 so fast? I mean, dang. So that's just a heads up. Starting next Thursday, I will be off, and it'll be alternate programming throughout Christmas because, well, this is 2 reasons. Let me just tell you why. 2 reasons. Why have I been doing this for the last 15 years. I guess it's probably been close to 15 years that I have been doing the off from just before Christmas through New Year's, because nothing is going on, because everybody's on vacation, because everybody is taking a holiday break. None of the guests want to come talk to you. Really nothing happening in the news unless there's, war, famine, disease, or whatever. There's just really nothing happening. And so and on my other side of my, on the other shoe that I carry, which of course is the selling advertising for radio and doing stuff like that. Nobody wants to talk to you about buying radio advertising between Christmas and New Year's. In fact, most people are basically just there to fill time. If they didn't get their vacation time off, they're just there, plugging away. So that's why we do this throughout the day. But that also means that next week I've taken a poll. I should check the email. I got to check my email real quick to see if nobody emailed me about it, but the chat room was overwhelmingly, in fact, there was not a single vote for let's talk about politics next week. It was overwhelmingly no politics next week. Everybody's got political fatigue. Another reason why I take this time off, because I'm with you. I was sitting on the couch last night with Terry, and I looked at her and I go, I just can't wait. Can't wait to put my mental brain space in for something else. Also, of course, this holiday season is the time of giving, and I want to thank our friends over there at Satellite West for sponsoring the program today. Satellite West, you can find them at satellitewest.com. It doesn't matter where you go in the state, from Metlakatla to Minto to Menchumina to I don't know, Meadow Creek, Midtown, wherever you are in Alaska that begins with an M, they can get you connected. Yep, they can keep you connected, whether it's surfing the internet, whether it's sending an email, whether it's making a phone call or sending a text message. They have got the technology to keep you in touch anytime, anywhere. You can go over to satellitewest.com and find out more about them there. Meanwhile, they've also sponsored what we like to call the 5 Days of Christmas, which is starting this Thursday. We're going to be giving away one a day. We're going to be giving away the bivvy stick. The bivvy stick. What is the bivvy stick? Well, it's a little teeny tiny, little small device that when connected via Bluetooth to your cell phone is going to turn your cell phone into a satellite communicator. So you can send text messages, you can send emails, and you can find out where you're at no matter what. You can track yourself. If you've got friends and you're all traveling together, you're snow machining, you're hunting, you're doing whatever, it's got group track so you can see where everybody is. It's got a ton of different features. We're going to be giving away one of these a day. One a day. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. The only way to win is to go to my website and get signed up right now at michaeldukeshow.com. Go to my website, just click on the 5 Days of Christmas, the Satellite West logo at the top of the page and the big 5 Days of Christmas banner up just underneath of it, and you can get signed up, and I will be drawing names here in just a little bit. Somebody just signed up right now. I just watched my email ticker go over, ting, ting, ting. 14 people signed up this morning. So 14 people signed up this morning, and there are more to come. We'll be drawing for this on Thursday. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the big radio broadcast. All right. Number to call if you would like to sound off this morning, because any topic is fair game. Any topic is fair game, is 907-433-3150. 907-433-3150. And of course, Randy in the chat room said, I cast the token vote for talking about politics next week. Yes. Of course you would, Randy. Of course you would you would want to be the only one that would want to talk about. That's okay. You're still outvoted. Still outvoted. So what are you guys planning on doing over your holiday vacation? Well, I'm going to work, but am going to work at my pace. As I was saying earlier, somebody asked me, or last hour, Eric was asking me if I had my Starlink set up yet, and I don't. I'm going to set up my Starlink, but I want to make sure that my studio is 100% finished. I just did a complete revamp. This is the first time in 6 years that I have really updated much in the studio. I've added a few pieces of equipment over the last few years, but this is the first time that it's like a full revamp of the studio. It looks like Mission Control. I put a picture up for folks in the chat room to see here last week. I think it was last week after I got done with the initial changes, and it looks like I'm in the seat of a space shuttle now. I've got big wraparound screens, multiple screens everywhere, and new hardware, new streaming and audio components and everything else. So it really is good, but it's only about 80% there. So I'm going to spend maybe part of this weekend finishing that up, and then over the holidays, I'm going to be setting up my new Starlink, and I'm going to finish the website because I spent some time redoing my website, and it's the new version is coming. The new version is coming, and it's about 90% done. And it will have a store on it where you can buy Beard Curler coffee, where you can buy T-shirts directly from the website. It's going to be a grown-up website, is what it is. I mean, this other website that I've had has been nice, but it's not a grown-up website. This one is going to be a grown-up website. And so be looking for that in the new year. I wish I had been able to get it up prior to Christmas so that you guys could do your Christmas shopping and get all the Michael Duke Show T-shirts and all that stuff. But it is what it is. So that's what I'm going to be spending my holiday. That and watching holiday movies and hanging out, sleeping in too late, totally screwing up my sleep schedule. I guarantee you by the time we come back on the 2nd of January, I will probably be a bit of a hot mess because I will probably have been sleeping in for 10 days at that point. I'll be sleeping in till like 10 o'clock in the morning, every morning, because that's what we're doing. Yes, there'll be mugs on the website. There'll be all of that stuff, Hawk. There'll be all of that stuff. In fact, we might have some new mugs. I might spend some time designing some new mugs as well. And so it's a good thing. But we're just going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy it and hang out and spend some time together. What are you guys planning on doing on your holiday vacation? Or do you have a holiday? Hawk says it's just another day for us single folks with no family. Well, yeah, but you could still enjoy I mean, obviously family makes it better. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to diminish but at the same time, even if I was alone, I'd probably be watching my favorite holiday movies and listening to Christmas music and probably cooking myself too many cookies that I probably shouldn't eat. You know what I mean? Because it's just that time of year. It's just that time of year. It's what we need. So what are you guys going to be doing over the Christmas break or the Christmas days as the time goes by? I'd love to hear from you. 907-433-3150. Or if you want to talk about politics, we're okay to talk about that as well. Or television shows. We just got on a jag about Jack Ryan, Jack Reacher, and the new Yellowstone prequel that's coming out now as well. We got talking about some of our favorite television shows. That was during the last break. So if you missed it, that's what we were talking about. That's all coming up. All right. Well, we're coming up on the break, so I guess we'll continue here in a moment. And we'll see what you guys have to say on the other side. All phone lines are open. We'd love to hear what you guys got to talk about. Give us a ring. The Michael Duke Show. Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. We'll return with more in just a moment.
We're broadcasting live through a series of tubes.
Allowing all of these entities to provide streaming stuff going on the internet.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Sorry. Streaming live every weekday morning on Facebook Live and MichaelDukesShow.com.
All right. Evil people train every day to do harm. I train to counter that. That's what I'm doing, says Jim. Okay, good. Debbie says, once one signs up for the core, the Common Sense core, how long does it take for the famed beard curler coffee to arrive asking for a friend? Generally speaking, you receive it within 60 days because you have to be a member for a full 30 days before you can qualify. And then I usually get to it. Sometimes I'm a little late. I will admit that I have occasionally had somebody slip through without getting their coffee. The problem is right now is I'm still having a hard time with the supply chains to get the coffee because there's some of the beans that they use in the coffee, they had a hard time getting. I went without my own coffee for about 4 months. I got another case of it and I sent a bunch of it out and I gave a bunch of it away and sold some. And then I'm out now again. I don't even have any of my own coffee. I'm drinking North Pole Coffee Roaster St. Nickerdoodle right now because I'm out of my own coffee. But I'm hoping to have a box before the end of the month. I'm hoping to have another case or two before the end of the month. But Debbie, if you signed up for that level with the coffee, I'll double check. And I'll take a look at it and get it out to you if you have not received yours. We'll see what we can do. I've got to revamp some of the tiers on Patreon. I love Patreon. It's a very handy platform, but I went a little bananas with it when I first set it up, thinking that I was going to be, I'm not monitoring it as closely as I should be. Let me just put it that way. So I apologize to Common Sense Core members. If you have not received something that you were supposed to receive, make sure you send me an email, will you? If you were supposed to get the coffee and you didn't get the coffee, and I'd love to send me an email. Tell me that I didn't send it to you. Okay. We'll figure it out. Tom's Coffee is what we give away in our store and at home. Tom's Coffee. Oh, Tom from North Pole Coffee Roasters. Is that who you're talking about, Debbie? Yeah. He makes some good coffee. He does make some good coffee. The St. Nickerdoodle is yum. Luckily, he got it into Sam's Club. I've been buying those bags like crazy. I love me some St. Nickerdoodle. Okay. Hawk wants to know about mugs. The bigger mug is the better for you. Yeah, well, I mean, the big mugs are the mugs that I have are pretty big mugs. I think they're 15-ounce mugs. So, I mean, they're not like the gallon size, but they're a big, hefty mug. They're a good sized cup of coffee or tea or whatever it is that you're doing. All right. I got to order some new cables for this monitor because it keeps flickering. Flicker. Brand new monitor. And they're all flickering a little bit because I'm running cables that are a little bit longer than normal. All right, let me see what else is going on here. Let's take a poll. Snowpocalypse or Snowmageddon? Snowpocalypse or Snowmageddon, folks? That's the poll for right now. Which do you prefer? Snowpocalypse. I love that one. That's what I love. Snowpocalypse. Sam's Club? For what? Oh, did I say Sam's? I meant Costco. Sorry. Box store thing. I drank chaga that I picked up off my trail. Yeah. Well, it's chaga. I've had it once. That was enough for me, personally. Snowmageddon. That's what somebody else is saying. I like Snowpocalypse. But, each his own. Well, I don't know what we're going to talk about. Maybe I should. Oh, I've still got some headlines. And I've got some good news in my back pocket if we need to do that. Snowmageddon should be reserved for the 90 to 91 event. That is true. It's 167 inches or whatever it was. All right, here we go. The Michael Duke Show. Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio. That was actually 9 seconds early. Okay, welcome back to the program. It is the Michael Duke Show. Got some power outages up in Fairbanks. I'm getting notifications here that there's some power outages going on in the Fairbanks area. I know earlier on Bonnie said her power's out. Chris just says there's a power outage going on in his neck of the woods as well. So you guys stay safe up there as you go through. I'm surprised with as much snow as we've gotten down here in the South Central area that we haven't had more power outages. Fingers crossed. One of the things that I did, I'll tell you, because they got no phone calls. One of the things that I redid in my studio is that I increased my battery backup systems. And so I have multiple battery backups now. So if the power goes off at the house, we'll remain on the air for at least 30 minutes. Let's just hope that the power outage is not longer than 30 minutes, right? So anyway, that is one of the new redundancies I built into the system here, so that the internet and the router and everything else is on one, and my computer systems are on the other. And anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Bill says it quit snowing down in the Kenai. Stand by. He's going to shake the snow globe again. You better not, man. You better not. Bill loves the snow machine. I suppose that we could blame all of this on Bill, because he's the one that's probably been doing the snow dance time, trying to get everything done. All right. Well, let's hit a couple of the other headlines, I suppose, as we go through here. A massive explosion yesterday near Wasilla. Troopers and fire marshals were notified at 2:29 p.m. of a building explosion at the top of the World Circle off Connect Goose Bay Road. And the building is exploded. The whole thing. I mean, just like totally vaporized. The building where the explosion originated was a total loss. The explosion also damaged another building on the property, as well as some nearby structures. I would hope so, because I live 7 miles away from that, and I thought we were having an earthquake. That's how big that explosion was. I felt it shake the whole house. Somebody on Facebook said that they heard the explosion in Palmer. That's how big it was. Borough officials asked people to stay out of the area, and they said that there's actually a video. KTUU actually has a video of somebody was taking inside their house when it went off, and it was wow. Now, no word yet as to what caused the explosion, although NSTAR was called to the scene, so there was maybe it was natural gas. Apparently, it was a 30 by 40 foot shop structure that exploded. And it extensively damaged the house next door and broke windows for, a mile away, basically cracked windows and broke windows and did everything else. But the building itself that exploded is just gone. And like I said, I thought it was one of those big sharp bumps you get, at the beginning of an earthquake. That's what I thought it was. Nope. It was explosion, man. Explosion. One person was injured, but they were taken away, and so at least there was no deaths associated with that, to which I'm very thankful. That kind of stuff is not good. So that was the exciting thing in Wasilla yesterday. If you'd like to sound off, 907-433-3150, 907-433-3150. The phone lines are open right now. and we will take your calls. David Wilson has irritated many of his constituents by joining the democratically led, or the Democratic majority of majorities, the Coalition Binding Caucus. He has he's irritated a lot of people. It's one of the silver linings of the redistricting is that I ended up in Mike Shower's district and not David Wilson's, because I would not have been able to vote for David Wilson. Because I don't think he stands for anything. I think he picks which way the wind blows and then jumps in that direction, quite honestly. And I think maybe some of his fellow Republicans feel the same way. Wasilla District 28, Republicans have now passed a resolution asking Senator David Wilson to reverse his decision to join the caucus dominated by Democrats. In the resolution, Wilson is described as having engaged in actions detrimental to the Alaska Republican Party and to Republican values and goals by his leaving the Republican caucus and joining a caucus in which Democrats hold the majority when a Republican majority was elected to the Senate. Last month, 27 Republicans also passed a resolution which, with a demand that Wilson remove himself from the dominated majority caucus, which awarded him the chairmanship of the Health and Social Services Committee in exchange for his membership in the binding caucus. The resolution says that Wilson has abandoned his Republican colleagues from the Mat-Su. In fact, both Senator Hughes and Senator Shower have been excluded. The quote from it: David Wilson has joined a leftist-controlled coalition that is fundamentally at odds with the interests of the residents of the Mat-Su Valley. And the grassroots Republican group asked him to make the decision by 5 p.m. on December 9th. If not, they asked him to refund the $4,000 contributed to his campaign by the Republican Party. That was District 27. And now District 28, the other House district in his Senate district, because each Senate district is made up of 2 House districts. The other half of his constituency has now asked him to reverse and do the same. Not surprising. I'll be honest with you. One of the biggest surprises to me was the forgiving, I guess you would say. I don't know if it was real forgiveness or not, of Kelly Merrick in the Eagle River area, which is kind of a bastion for the conservatism in Anchorage. Eagle River is probably the most conservative area of Anchorage. But I was really surprised that she was reelected handily in that race. I don't think the same thing. I don't think that the same thing would happen in the Mat-Su. I think the people in the Mat-Su will remember. David Wilson from this day forward. I very seriously doubt that when it comes time for re-election that David Wilson will be reelected. That's my feeling. That's my gut feeling. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. But this is not the kind of bridge you burn in the Wasilla area. I don't see it happening. But you know, we'll see. We'll see how that all turns out in the long run. My feeling, though, is that David Wilson is in lame duck mode at this point. He'll do whatever he needs to do, and either he has decided not to rerun or he anticipates that he won't be reelected, which will kind of make him a little bit of a loose cannon in some ways. You won't be able to tell which way he's going to jump. But you know, this is how it is. You got played again, and they put David Wilson in there to fix it all up for you. So he is now. He hasn't been censured yet. But I think that is potentially the next step for District 27 and District 28 is that you will potentially see a full censuring of David Wilson. Not that that's done a damn bit of good for any of the other candidates or the politicians that have been censured. After the recount last Thursday, Representative Tom McKay survived. He actually increased his vote count. He went from having a 7-vote lead over Denny Wells to having a 9-vote lead. The recount took place in Anchorage, and the candidates each had the ability to have 2 observers. And and with the two observers at the recount. When Wells, according to Must Read Alaska, didn't get the result he wanted, he peppered the Division of Elections Director Gail Fanumii with multiple questions that were to a large extent unimportant to the count. Also, in a separate recount conducted on Wednesday, the day before, Kathy Giesel retained her lead in the District E South Anchorage race after Democrat Rosalind Casey, who came in third, requested a recount. There was a 14-vote difference between her and Senator Holland, a Republican, and the Senate recount awarded both Casey and Holland 2 votes apiece, but Giesel remained the overall winner, beating Roger Holland, which is just sad. Just sad. All right. What else we got? Anything else? You guys are awfully quiet this morning for phone calls and everything else. What do I got? What else do I got for news here? Just another reason why I am happy I don't live in Anchorage. I mean, I work in Anchorage, but just another reason why I'm happy I don't live in Anchorage, because, so many Karens. In an effort to reduce noise pollution, the municipality of Anchorage, according to the ADN, is increasing its fines for noisy vehicles that violate the city rules on exhaust and muffler systems because, we don't have anything better to do. The Anchorage Assembly on Tuesday voted unanimously to raise fines from $100 to $300 starting in January. The change follows calls from several community councils for improved enforcement and a 2021 memo from the city's ombudsman that recommended the city clarify and revise its laws on vehicle noise that were difficult or impossible to enforce. The laws are still on the books, however, they were not always easy to implement. But the Anchorage Police Department has since bought 2 certified noise level meters for its traffic unit. So they've got a handheld meter that's going to tell you exactly how loud your car is. City officials hope the increased fine will deter noisy vehicles and motivate people to get their vehicle's muffler fixed. Because previously it was a $100 fine, and usually any muffler job is going to be more than $100, so it was just cheaper to pay the fine. And, pay the fine and move on and hope you don't get pulled over again. But now $300 is going to bring the cost closer to what it actually costs to repair a muffler. And so now they're hoping that it was, we'll see what happens. City law currently dictates that no one can drive vehicles that produce noise levels above 85 dB at 50 feet from the center lane or the nearest property line, whichever is closer. And but apparently the law makes exception for vehicles that have a special permit for the city. So see, you still can break the law. As long as you beg the government's permission and pay the fee, you could still break the law. That's okay. I mean, okay. I had to laugh at that because there's always an exception to the rule. Always a way you can break the law. The councils, the community councils are all they're concerned with the serious hazard to public health and welfare and our quality of life due to illegally loud vehicle noise. So I guess, I don't want people drag racing with open pipes around my yard, but at the same time, don't we have more important things to mess with? I'm asking for a friend. Don't we have more important things to mess with? Possibly. All right, we got to go. One more segment dead ahead. You guys better call in. Otherwise, I'm going to start talking about, I don't know, something. Back with more. The Michael Dukes Show. Common sense, liberty-based, free-thinking radio.
Our light, our guide, and our trusted friend. Michael Dukes Show.
Okay. 85 dBs. Yeah, that's, it's relatively quiet. California is even lower. California is something like 68 or 70 dBs. California is even lower. That's the thing. Let's see. I want to see what this says right here because my wife just dopped this to me. Oh, what? Wow. Dan Fagan just submitted his resignation. Dropped on Facebook 17 minutes ago. 4 years ago, I began hosting my morning drive show on News Radio 650 KENI. This morning, I submitted my resignation. My final show will be on the 30th. It's been a privilege and an honor. Wow. Well, there you go. We'll see. Hey, maybe that means that there's a station that wants to pick it up in Anchorage. Know what I mean? Last chance, KFQD. Are you listening? Well, that's some good stuff right there. I mean, not good, but it's I guess we'll see what happens, won't we? I guess we will see what happens. Glad Anchorage has time to pull over cars that were being too loud. Must have found all those missing people and don't have anything better to do. He just got drummed out of town by the Blue Dogs. We're thinking of leaving too. Greener pastures, says Harold. Yeah, I don't know. That's just the post that he put up here. Just the post that he put up here on Facebook here 15 minutes ago. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll see what does that mean? I guess we'll see what that means. We'll see what that does here in the near future. Maybe I can get into the Anchorage market. Yeah, I mean it's been offered a couple times, and in fact, it was offered initially after Rick Rydell left. I had a conversation with them over there, and then I was offered by another station when Steeren left. I was offered his show, and I'm like, I'm already doing a morning show, guys. I mean, why don't you just take the morning show? Why do you have to do that? Is that Dan Fagan who's resigning? Yes, it's Dan Fagan who's resigning. This is the thing. Here it is right here. Nope. Yep. Right there. Not good. Right there. There you go. That's the post 19 minutes ago for Dan Fagan. Which is always interesting. I mean, Dan's not even in Alaska. Dan's in Louisiana. So I don't know how he, I mean, you can stay in touch with Alaskan issues, I guess, but don't blow smoke up my skirt and tell me that you're an Alaskan broadcasting in Alaska when you're not even in Alaska. Right? All right. Any word on Charlie Pierce? I haven't heard from Charlie in a while. I haven't heard from him since before the election, before actually the announcement that Edie had stepped off the ticket. So I haven't talked to him in a while. There you go. We'll see what he has to say. I know that Dunleavy has a share of weakness, but I don't like the way that Danny Boy attacked him all the time, sometimes for days on end. Well, I mean, I've had my share of things to say about the governor. But yeah, you can't ride a single thing and just keep getting it. doesn't help. Let's put it that way. All right. Well, we're 40 seconds out from returning to the radio. And what should we talk about? Talk about Jack Ryan. That would be exciting. I would love to see that. But we'll see what I can come up with. All right. Like and share, like and follow. Make sure that you like and follow the show page and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube. Here we go. The Michael Duke Show. Common sense, liberty-based, free thinking radio. Like and share, like and share. Okay. I mean, what else should we talk about? How come you guys should drive the bus on this? You guys should tell me what it is that you want to talk about today. It's open line, open forum. And it's Monday, and it's the the snowpocalypse. So, or as apparently the preferred term in the chat room, I think I may have been outvoted on this. The preferred term in the chat room is Snowmageddon. Although I kind of like snowpocalypse. I think it rings off the tongue a little bit better. You know? I mean, I don't know. I'd love to hear I'd love to hear more about it. Deshana is asking if we can do a show on different types of bourbon and whiskey. Well, that's an off-air show right there. I can tell you that right now. But, who knows? Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do that going into one of these weekends or something. We can do a weekend show on that. That would be fun. Yeah, all kinds of things that we can talk about this morning. I got some good news. Good news. You want some of the good news? Let's get some of these news stories up. Where was that other one? There was one more. There was one more news story. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, this is it. This is the one that I was thinking of. Okay. I got some good news for you. And again, the phone lines are open at 907-433-3150, powered by our friends at Satellite West. Don't forget, the 5 days of Christmas is going to start on Thursday. If you want a chance to win the Pivotel satellite, the Bivy Stick, brain patterns, the Bivy Stick, if you want a chance to win a free Bivy Stick, they're going to be giving away one a day, courtesy of our friends at Satellite West, but also the Michael Duke Show and your local radio station. So you could thank them for giving away some Bivy Sticks as well. All right? So we're going to give away one Bivy Stick a day, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's 5 days, the 5 days of Christmas. I am a marketing genius. The 5 days of Christmas from Satellite West, the Bivy Stick, we're giving away, again, one a day, the only way that you can get one. Should I say that? Because I might just pick one randomly if I get a really good phone call or something. But the only way you're going to be able to get one is you got to sign up. You got to sign up on the website right now, michaeldukeshow.com, and you'll get a chance to win. You can only sign up once because we're only doing it for 5 days and we're 3 days away from that, right? You can only sign up once, but go ahead and check it out. The michaeldukeshow.com. Click on the Satellite West logo with all the Christmas lights around it at the top, or just go down to the 5 days of Christmas banner, and we'll do that. Looks like we've had 21 people sign up this morning. So go check it out and get it done. I do have one line on hold. I've got two lines on hold. So hold the line, caller. I just wanted to touch on this little story for a second because it's the good news, right? So hold the line, callers. I'll be right to you. A baker in the English town of Guisborough, population 17,000 or so, is reviving an ancient tradition to help his neighbors due to high energy cost. Thousands of years ago, societies built one oven in town where everyone went to bake their bread. And now Ed Hamilton Truitt, the bakery, Brickyard Bakery, is offering to bake Christmas cakes for anyone worried about the energy costs of turning on the oven for several hours. He said, at this time of year, there can be no greater expression of love than baking the family Christmas cake. But that's being lost because of the prohibitive energy costs in running an oven for a few hours. At Brickyard, we want to help by reviving a tradition lost to our communities for centuries, the community oven. So anyone who has already prepared a cake can bring it down to the Brickyard Bakery on a Friday, and they can retrieve it on the following Monday. Now, this is not the first time into good deeding for Mr. Hamilton Truitt, as early in September, he realized the excessive heat from his ovens could be used to create a community warm lounge for people without means to heat their homes continuously throughout the day. And he's also offering pay-what-you-want cooking classes, which he described as a tremendous success, with lots of people enjoying to learn how to cook with some cost-effective, tasty meals and more. This guy is quite a dude. Quite a dude. So Merry Christmas to Mr. Ed Hamilton Truitt of Guisborough, England, for giving back to the community and being a real mensch. I appreciate that. That's amazing stuff. So that's part of the good news. Let's go over to the telephones and see if we can pull some more good news out of the phone calls. Good morning. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Kurt calling from North Cole.
Whoa, you got to turn your radio down, my friend. You got to turn your radio down, sir.
I have a young gentleman turned 18, and he was hoping he could open carry, but he found out that the law has been changed. You know about that, what caused that, when it happened? I'll hang up.
Okay. Asking about open carry at 18 versus 21. There's never been open carry in the state at 18. You were always supposed to be 21 in the state of Alaska to pick up to be able to buy a firearm. You're always supposed to be 21. 18 was for long guns. So yeah, I don't think the law changed. The law has been 21 for, since back in the day. But I'll have to look at it. Maybe Greg is in the chat room and can fill in on that. I don't think it's changed. Maybe it has. I guess that's something that I'll have to look at. But 21, you could always get a long rifle at 18, a long gun at 18. But 21 was my understanding was the age limit, or the age requirement, I guess I should say, for a handgun. Although that may have changed because I did buy my first handgun when I was 18. So maybe that has changed in the last, of course, when I was 18, that was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So something may have changed all along the lines. But it has been 21 for at least the last, I think, 10 years. But like I said, maybe if Greg or somebody's in the chat room wants to sound off, then there you go. All right. 907-433-3150, 907-433-3150. If you would like to sound off, we'd love to hear from you and see what it is that you guys have to say. Feel free to give us a ring, and we'll sound off here in the last 4 minutes. Coming up on tomorrow's program, we're going to be joined by Brad Keithley and Chris Story. Now, this will be their second to last visit with us this year, and it'll be the last one for politics, because starting next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the last 3 days of the broadcast year, we're going to do some just Christmassy fun memories In fact, we'll quiz Brad about his favorite music for Christmas and recipes and memories, and we're just going to riff. We're just going to hang out and have a good time. And we'll with Chris, we'll still get our uplift with Chris, but we'll also get some memories, and maybe we'll get a Christmas story from Chris. Maybe he can get us a Christmas story. Maybe he's written a Christmas story and I can narrate it. I can read it over the air. Listen to me, dear listeners, as I tell you the tale of Chris Story's Christmas story. Right? I mean, maybe I could do that. That would be fun. That would be amazing. Then Mike Shower is going to be joining us as well. And I already know that he's truly, truly looking forward to not talking about politics for a single show. So I know that's coming up as well. All right, 907-433. I know I've just seen a couple people try and connect, and for some reason, I don't know if I'm having an internet issue or what, but my phone is freaking out. I'm trying to make sure that I got everybody. Everybody is ready to go. We'll see if we can take this last call before we go to break. No, they weren't there. It looked like they were there, but they weren't. All right. So I guess what is the last piece? Oh, this is the good news. This one's good. I'm going to get this one too right here. Two childhood best friends who were joined at the hip as kids were reunited over half a century later when they least expected it. Irene Gretzy and Janet Henderson were neighbors in the 1940s, growing up in Linlithgow in England. But like so many friends, they lost touch over the years. Irene got married and moved away with her husband, who was in the Navy, and got shipped out to places like Singapore. She wanted to retire closer to her family, so she moved back and had been living for 3 years very close to Janet without knowing it. Now, they're both 80 years old. The pair ran into each other at an event organized at the Beald Senior Home. And Irene said her heart skipped a beat when she saw her long-lost pal. She said, we immediately knew who each other were. We sat beside each other, and she turned to me and said, is that you, Irene? And I said, yes, Janet. She said she had made up her mind that it was me, and I'm very glad she said something, as the last time we had seen each other was a very long time ago. The two women vowed to never let it go that long again without seeing each other, and spent all afternoon catching up. And now they are promising to spend as much time as possible together in their own little hometown. God, I love good news sometimes. Just those heartbreaking stories that you love. It's not heartbreaking, I guess. It's more, it's feel good. It's feel good, man. We need that at the end of the year. A little feel good. All right, well, I'm done for today. I mean, I'm not done. I got work to do, but I'm done with the show for today. I'll be back tomorrow. All right, my friends, thanks for coming in and joining us. Be kind. Love one another. Live well. The Michael Duke Show, Common Sense Radio. Okay, you crazy, crazy kids. Joining me on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch. Is all the good news in the UK? We need to work harder for good news. No, those are just the two top stories that I was looking at when I pulled them, Terry. There's stories from all around the world. There is good news everywhere, Terry. You will find some today. I'm speaking that into existence for you. All right? All right, my friends. Tomorrow, Brad Keithley, Chris Story, and you and me. That's what it's going to be like. We will see you tomorrow. We will isn't there supposed to be live audio? What? Somewhere? Oh. David Eastman today, 9 a.m. at the Palmer Courthouse. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Thanks, my friends. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
We've shed our terrestrial radio skin, and now we are slimy lizard internet people. It's the Michael Duke Show.